All right, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is October 23rd, 2023. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Yo, it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. It's been a hot minute, but we're very excited to recap and tell you guys about the start of the Halloween event, one of our favorite events of the year.
Bro, yes, and yes. So, also a quick note: I am a little bit like under the weather. I'm sick. My voice is like cracking up and whatever. So if you hear weird stuff today, it's because of that. But but yeah, I'm still energetic to be able to do things. I have medicine in my body, so I should be fine until I go to sleep tonight. Although my eyes are like, but and of course my nose and everything itches. So, whatever the case may be. Yeah. We are here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and rant about the game because we love the game just as much as you do. And don't forget to check us out at the Professor Network. I know that the video stuff is looking a bit weird, but just check us out there, please. Wonderful people to work with every single time. Wonderful family to work with every single day. So, if I go a little bit fast, it's because we actually got to get through a couple of the things today. Mostly because we do have a special guest today. However, he will be coming into the podcast stream or live, I guess, pretty soon. But we're just going to get some recaps here and there when it comes down to it. And yeah, so Chris, how about you start us up with what you get this last week?
Yeah, let's take a look in our favorite Pokemon book. I know I'm gonna go over like some of the things while it loads that I know I got. I got a rank 1 Alolan Persian recently for Great League.
Yeah.
I got a ton of Shadow like regular Meowths that were like really good IVs, but they were just low enough that they're not gonna be Hondos, so I'm kind of sad. But for shinies and 4-stars, I don't think I've got any new Hondos except for maybe some Purified Hondos, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. But I started the Harvest Week. I actually got a. I can't remember if I talked about it, so I'm just gonna go over it really quick. I got shiny Cottony, another shiny Alolan Executor.
Jeez.
That kind of caught me off guard. Yeah. I found a shiny Girafarig out in the wild. And then as the Halloween event started, I got a very scary Pineco. And that was when I went to Disney.
Nice.
Yeah, over the weekend, I was hoping to get at least one shiny. I try to get a shiny on the trips, kind of like as a reminder. And then I think, while I was there, I also got a shiny Drifloon that was Go Plus. I was pretty happy about that. So for the Incense Day, I was stuck at work, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get out at 2:30. It's going to be great. I'm going to have plenty of time to play the event. And then they were like, hey, we're going to need you to stay late. And I'm like, oh, no. Yeah, so I actually got stuck at work until I want to say 4:30.
You had like half
So
an
I
hour.
got to play a little bit, yeah. But I was able to score one shiny, and of course it was the shiny Skorupi.
Well, that's lucky actually.
Yeah, I mean I'll take it. I think it's my third one,
Okay.
but it's a beautiful shiny. I'm super happy about that. And then yesterday I got a shiny Ralts from one of the mini nests at the college by us. So
Nice.
yeah, the guy I was riding with was really mad about it. He's like, "Where's my shiny?" But yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah. Who you were riding with?
But yeah, I want to say that was everything like cool that I got.
Who were you riding with today?
I was riding with Spidey,
Nice.
Alex.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, nothing too crazy. Spawn's been fantastic. But yeah, tell me about what you got, buddy.
So
And I'll be jealous.
I did get a couple of shinies, surprisingly. I think I did talk about the Lickitung already. So yeah, shiny Lickitung from an egg or from actually from the wild. No, yeah, I talked about that from last time we did raid hour or something, or we were out there. I got another Scyther, like literally the day after we talked, because why not? I actually hatched my very first shiny Happiny.
Oh, that was your first one too?
That was
I
my
don't
first
even
one.
think I have one.
So yeah, I was really happy about that. I didn't think I kind of was like, oh, another shiny, like family of the Chansey. But then I remember it's like, wait, is this my first shiny Happiny? It is my first shiny Happiny.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, that's completes the family finally. So I'm actually happy about that. And that was from the I think the daily, no, not the daily, but the weekly recap from Venture Sync.
Ooh.
Excuse me. That's how you're gonna hear me today. Anyways, I got another shiny Zigzagoon because why not? I think it was during my route walk. Shiny Eggant also for my route walk. And Go Plus a shiny Shepherd because why not? It is what it is. A pretty good haul. I can't complain about it. Good so far. Then I actually, okay, so you're not gonna believe what I got.
Oh no.
I think I already showed you, but I don't know. I don't know if you've seen the channels or anything.
Oh.
So, as you guys know, we do have a time research for Spiritomb, which only grants you the one Spiritomb the entire freaking event, and everybody's mad about it. We'll talk about that in a moment. So I get my Spiritomb. So I was like, okay, cool. I think I get it like maybe a day or two ago, or maybe a day after the event started, or whatever the case may be. It wasn't shiny, but I remember the CP number, and the CP number it's the Hondo numbers. So my free Spiritomb for the year, and I get the Hondo, which to be told is my second Hondo already. Surprisingly enough, but it could have been shiny. It could have been the Shando. I could have been done with Spiritomb forever in my lifetime. But no.
Dude, you and your rare Hondos, man. The clone Pikachu, the one
The one of.
Spiritomb from the free.
Let me make sure that I put this as 2023. Because it's gotta
Do
be.
we do we think there's gonna be more Spiritomb quests like for part 2?
If Niantic has listened to the community, probably. But knowing Niantic, they don't really care about Respiritum right now. So
Yeah, I mean, we got it for the Pokédex at least.
yeah, yeah.
But the
And
shiny.
I know I need it. But yeah, then after that, I also got a shiny, or not shiny, but a Hondo Yamask. I think it's my second one already, so I'm actually happy about that. Regular Yamask, actually. Or Unova Yamask, like they always say. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole. Did I get anything PvP wise? I don't think so. I already got the Oricorio, and everything else. I hatched a Frigibask. Well, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Yo. Yeah, I haven't hatched one yet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, which was pretty nice in the end of the day.
Is it better IVs than the one you got in the wild?
No, it's actually like I think it was a 3-star, but I don't can't remember after that. Let me check real quick.
Okay. Yeah, we got a lucky trade him anyways.
Yeah, for sure. We are lucky friends.
Yeah, guys, we finally hit lucky friends again.
Another
But
6 months
we
in
got
the
to figure
making.
out what to trade.
I know. I haven't even thought about it. Like this last week and everything has just been like insane. I didn't even go to raid hour because it was Guzzlord, so I really don't need it anymore after getting shiny.
Dude, I haven't got the shiny. I didn't get the shiny.
Oh my goodness, it'll come back.
It's so bad.
The rotation is here.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I wish I was able to do more, but yeah, I just couldn't rate it, sadly.
It is how it is. It is how it is. After that, I guess we should probably recap a little bit of what's been happening. I know that we're kind of a little bit late on some of the news here, but things how it going to be. I didn't really play Scorpion's Incense Day. I think during work I was working until 2. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just have the last 3 hours. But then I was like, I'll just go to my parents. I put in an instance for like an hour, let the Go Plus do his thing, and I didn't get anything. I wasn't even planning on going for
Yeah.
it.
I tried running it at my work, but I work like in a warehouse, and I think my Go Plus Plus like died
Oh God.
while I was running.
It happens. It happens. That's why we
Yeah,
gotta just like make sure we get
charge it.
recharge
Yeah,
and stuff. We get the ability to charge
yeah,
it. I don't know why we're taking forever. So
yeah. It caught some stuff, but like I know I didn't get any dupiters or anything, and
nah,
that's like one of the ones I really wanted, right?
right. I wasn't like too keen on it. Yeah, I guess the Dude Fighter would have been a cool addition. I just wasn't like in the mood to play it, especially because it was
Mm.
just Skorupi anyways.
Yeah. I will say it's not like any like super high on the want list, especially since a lot of them are full odds. Like
Yeah.
only Skorupi was boosted. Um, but yeah, I do wish I could have played more for it. But I will say this was probably just them kind of testing the waters on like how people liked it. So we may see like some more exciting ones in the future. Uh,
I mean,
like
it's not like
especially for dual types.
yeah, and it's not like the first time that they've done this anyway, so it's not.
Nah, the first time I think was Carvana.
I think so too. I believe so. It might be the last one. I don't remember. But it's been going on for a couple of years already. We don't get that many of them anymore, but we still have quite a bit of them in the end of the day. So, yeah, that was Karupi's Instant Day. That was on that Saturday. The Halloween event had just started. Well, just started now. It actually has been a week already. Somewhat of a week already. Halloween themed map is back. All the Halloween stuff, fall weather stuff. It's here. Ghost types, dark types. I don't know what else. Poison types are spawning in the wild. The Halloween time research, which I actually completed every single one of them already, so that doesn't even matter. They give you encounters with Graviant and all those other Pokemons out there, anyways.
Mm.
So it's not bad. Part one is almost over. I think it's ending in like a day, two more days and 12 hours. So let's give it our thoughts because by the time we actually get to the next podcast, it's going to be part two. And we'll talk about that part two in just a moment. What do you think so far of part one? How do you feel about the Halloween madness?
It's kind of funny because I kind of thought that the Harvest one was kind of like the part one just because it had Pumpkaboo in it. I will say the Halloween event for part one, I think it's done a good job of balancing how much candy you get. Because truth be told, the double candy in the past was kind of OP. Especially when like Gengar was spawning in the wild, you would get a ton of candy. I'm talking like 40 candy from one Gengar. So that's kind of OP. Um, the spawn's fantastic. Pumpkaboo has been spawning in the wild a bit, especially since we get the sunny weather over here. So that's helped out a lot. The quests, fabulous. There's only like a few bad quests. You really want the event quests for sure. I will say Pumpkaboo 60% of them, maybe 70% of the event ones. So that's hype. Um, Other than that, we're just, in my opinion, I think more people are excited for part two, me included.
Yeah.
Especially with the costume Pokemon. I think that's going to be cool. But I would give this one probably like a 7.5 and 8 maybe at the highest. I think Ghost Pokemon are some of the most fun ones to shiny check.
That's true. That's true. The release of Shiny Phantom is actually being a thing. A lot of people are looking for it. I did like on the first day of the event, I did like maybe 20 plus tasks for it. And I was like, where's my shiny? Where's my shiny? I was like
I've
that.
only seen one person get it. It was Scrub Lord Dustin, and it was a 98.
Oh, a lot of people have been getting it.
I'm sure Shiny Shay's gonna get one any day now.
I'm
One of our
waiting.
local
I'm waiting.
shiny hunters.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that day to happen. So I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah,
I
let me check her buddy really quick.
I think I also will want to give it maybe a 7.5 to 8. I think the spawns are great. They're not incredible. I mean, I know there's probably a couple of things that could have been better. The one thing is that like they lower Phantom's rate in the wild, so it's basically mostly in research at the time. You can still
Yes.
see it in the wild. If you do the daily instance, sometimes it appears like 1 or 2 times. If it's sunny weather, sometimes it appears a little bit more. But regardless of how, maybe it's one of those now rare shinies to find if you can find one around. Although the tests are pretty easy.
Oh yeah.
The task is spin 5 Pokestops or evolve a Ghost type Pokemon. I think it is. So I am so sorry about that, guys. I got hay being sick. Anyways, but yeah, I think that's Halloween event. It was pretty good so far. We'll keep our ratings. We'll definitely talk more at the end of that. There's no special thing happening until then, but we'll see how it goes. Let's get into some news. Our guest should be here pretty soon, so let's get some news going for us here. We'll talk about, I guess, some things that have been part now of the game since last one, and we were hoping that was actually going to be released before we podcasted last time, but of course it didn't happen until now. Very first thing is Party Up or Party Play.
Didn't they tease this like right during our last podcast?
They teased it like on the Sunday night, and then they released it like the information like the day after, because Niantic. Party Play. It's a brand new feature that has come into Pokemon Go. It basically is party up with your friends, and let me see if I can get actually the highlights here. I'll take away this for a moment so you guys can see better. So, Party Play. I wasn't really excited about this feature. I'm still a bit excited, but the problem is that I actually haven't had the chance to really test it out. So it has been kind of one of those things that I just haven't had the chance to party up with anybody. I was gonna do it like during the raid hour, but then I decided I was like, let me just go home. I gotta get some things done anyways. So party anywhere you go with Party Play. Party up with at least 4 total trainers, level 15 and above. So you can pretty much get it if you actually are there anyways. And adventure as a party together. You'll even get to see your friend's avatar in game. And whenever you're looking to represent your team, take on challenges and capture memories while catching Pokemon's. Party Play makes it possible. So we have a couple of videos that we could watch, but I'm not really gonna show them. It's basically how it works. So this is like 101 on this. Let's go into that. How to host. So you go into your profile. Into your profile character where you see your Pokemon and everything, your stats. Then there's gonna be a new tab aside from the me and friends. There's gonna be a party tab. You can create. People can scan the QR code, or I think they can actually add the code itself. And then, once you actually get 4 people into the party, you can actually say start, and then the other 3 people in your party will actually appear in-game map with some icons on top and the Party Play ability to do. You join it, and then you have tasks that you're going to be completing. So this is basically a task center feature. You choose a task, or at least the host chooses the task in real time, and tells you, catch 2 Pokemons, win 2 raids, catch 2 ice types. That is not how it works, because actually it works like it is, but the tasks are actually a lot more tedious, I should say.
It kind of depends, because I was able to do one while I was at Universal, and they can be very easy, but I think they progressively get more hard, but they can get easier again too. Like we've had win 2 raids and win 3 raids on like the same one. And then like it's like obvious, like you can choose win 2 raids. But something I think is really important to note is they count each individual that wins the raid as part of that. So only 2 of the 3 people, like if you have a group of 3, would have to win a raid. So the third one wouldn't even have to use a raid pass.
Okay.
So I think that's really cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think for raid hours, this is supreme.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the one thing about it is that you actually get to party power with other people. So when you're in the raid, you are able to add on the ability to your charge moves,
It's
I
like
guess.
Super Saiyan mode.
Yeah, it's called party power. It doubles the damage of your next charge attack and charges with every fast attack. More party members means more party power, charges faster. I try it out. This one is one of the things that I did try it out with somebody in my workplace. It was actually pretty cool. To note also that if you actually join a raid, a remote raid, and you're in a party, that other person in the party can join that remote raid.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So basically, let's say somebody invited me to a remote raid, we're in the party, and all of a sudden you actually, on the icon that you see on top, you can see me that I'm in the raid. If you click on my name, you can actually enter the same remote raid.
That is hype.
So it does kind of actually help out a lot of the people out there because let's say you don't have enough people to actually do this, but you're in a party with somebody. It's like, hey, I'm just gonna do a raid real quick so you just get this task done. But then you see other people wanted to join it, so you can join it. However, though, you actually have to make sure that the raid itself doesn't have the full lobby of 10 remote raiders, which still has the same limit regardless. However, that's still pretty cool. You can take down the raid faster. It helps out a lot, and also I think that how it really works. Once the party play actually ends, which actually automatically ends after 1 hour, so if you actually don't complete any tasks before then, you don't get to see them in the activity summary, which will tell you what you actually did, and also basically more tasks in here, things like that. And yeah, that's pretty much party play as far as we know. It's mostly just because people want to play and play that. They do immigrate this kind of feature from Pikmin Bloom and Monster Hunter now, which it's now another game that I play every day. So, but yeah, it's one of those things that works out pretty well. So far, I haven't seen too many bugs. The only two differences are that you cannot do a route when you're in a party.
Really? Okay.
And I think there was something else that I can't remember right now. It's been a while since I actually learned a little bit more. But people are actually been enjoying it. Since if you have a small group, you want to take a couple of raids out, you're going to want to do some tasks, get some items that you needed. Party up. You're there already. Why not?
Yeah. The only thing I hope they implement sooner than later is having a visual timer for everyone. I know
Right.
everyone knows it lasts an hour. It does tell you near the end that hey, the party's going to be ending in like 7 minutes or something. I know they're in like the testing phase of it, kind of like they're implementing it for everyone.
Yeah.
Um, but as soon as they add a timer, I think that would be really cool too.
I agree. Um, Aside from that, there is also a special research that you can complete when you're in a party. It says welcome party. Basically means that you party out with people and catch Pokemons and party do some party challenges and things like that. The first one is 10 party challenges and then catch 10 normal type Pokemons. You're gonna encounter with Eevee, Eevee shirt and all that. The next few tasks after that means you complete 30 party challenges for each one of the tasks, with the equivalent of some Eevee evolutions in the end of the day. So kind of a tedious task, but if you're just playing around with a lot of people throughout the day, like Golfist or something like that, it's kind of easy in the end of the day. And that's that. I'm excited. Are you excited, Chris? I mean, this feature itself just brings the longevity of the game a little bit more and things like that.
Yeah, I think anything new is definitely a bonus. Like anything extra. I think this is definitely gonna make raid hours even more fun. Um, it kind of sucks that it maxes out at 4, but I think for like since a lot of people do raid hours in the car, I think it's kind of perfect.
Yeah, no, I know, definitely, yeah. It works out if you want to really get that party going. So, with that being said, of course, that is that on that news. That happened like literally the day after we recorded, so thank you, Niantic. How about you go ahead and talk about our next community day?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. November 2023 Community Day. Wooper and Paldean Wooper. You may be telling yourself, one of these is not in the game yet. You're right. It's going to be brand new for the Com Day, so that's going to be pretty cool.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, it's going to be on a Sunday, so that means I'll be able to play Yippee! November 5th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time. Wooper the waterfish Pokemon and Paldean Wooper, sorry. The poison fish Pokemon is going to be featured. So it's going to be really cool. So both of them have a chance of being shiny, and they're the regular boosted odds for the community. I would recommend Mega Ing. Is a Paldean Wooper Poison Ground?
Yes.
Then yeah, Swampert all the way. Let's go.
There you go.
But at the end of the day, I would just say, depending on whatever is weather boosted by you, that might just be a good choice too. But Swampert's gonna be fun.
Right.
Quagsire, evolve Wooper during the event, or up to 5 hours afterwards to get a Quagsire that knows the charge attack Aqua Tail. I don't know how good Aqua Tail's actually gonna be. I'm sure there's gonna be like some closed metas it's gonna be good in. For trainer battles, 50 power, gyms and raids, 50 power. There you go. Clodsire. This is the Paldean Wooper's evolution. And if you evolve it, it's going to know the charge attack Mega Horn. That is actually really good for it. Even though the poison type does resist grass, it's good to have something to fight the grass types with.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Plus, like even like dark types like Umbreon. So Mega Horn, of course, does 110 in trainer battles and gyms and raids. And then you can purchase a $1 community day special research story, and they named it a Muddy Buddy.
Yeah, that's good. That's
So
cool. That's a good one.
yeah, I dig it. And it doesn't say what you get from it, but I'm assuming you get one of everything. One Paldean, one regular Wooper, and then the evolutions of both of them. But it's hard to say for sure. The
This
event
is
bonuses.
the same as what they did with Slowpoke.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
The event bonuses: 2 times candy for catching Pokemon. You're definitely going to be able to evolve both of these guys,
Oh yeah.
especially if you're out there pineapping.
Oh yeah.
1/4 hatch distance when eggs are placed in incubators during the event period. So don't put them in incubators until the community day actually starts. 2 times chance for trainers level 31 and up to receive candy extra large from catch Pokemon. Awesome. Lure modules activated during the event will last for 3 hours. So that's everything except the golden lures. Incense, excluding the daily adventure incense, activated during the events will last for 3 hours. And take a few snapshots during the community day for a surprise. That magic number is 5. I think it's going to be completely random. You might get 5 of one, you might get 5 of the other.
You might just
Hopefully it's
get
a
lucky of
mismatch.
one of each.
Yeah. The one additional special trade can be made for a maximum of 2 for the day, and that's going to be active until 10 p.m. Local time. And then trades will require 50% less Stardust, and that's also going to be effective until 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So, make sure you're getting your trades out there, especially afterwards, especially if you want that hundo. The bonus raid battles after Community Day. So from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. local time, you'll be able to fight. Oh yeah, that's lower down. You can fight the 4-star raids, and if you win, Wooper and Paldean Wooper will appear around the gym that hosts the raid for 30 minutes. It's important to note you don't actually have to fight in the raid. If anybody completed the raid, you can still benefit from that. So if you're in a well-populated area and people are doing the raids, just look around and see if the event, if the bonus is active. You'll see it on the map if the bonus is out there. Plus, you'll see them like spawning around you.
Yeah.
The 4-star raid battles. It looks like they're just putting in Wooper and Paldean Wooper.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means you'll only get the one that you fight. That's all I can assume.
I don't think so. They're probably just gonna
But
let the other two spawns regardless.
yeah, I feel like if you beat one or the other, you're just gonna see a 50-50 split. But it would be interesting if you fought one and only that one spawned. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, the bonus for completing 4-star raid battles. Once you successfully complete the 4-star raid battles against Wooper, Pode, and Wooper, obviously they're going to be spawning around and they're going to have the same odds of being shiny as the comp day. So field research. Same as usual. You can get encounters with Wooper or Pode and Wooper. So now you got to get extra lucky for those Shundas that you want, and
Yeah.
hopefully you don't get two of the same one.
Hopefully not.
Stardust, Ultra Balls, and more. The Pokemon Web Store Community Day Bundle. Community Day Bundle featuring 500 Pokeballs, 1 Poffin, and 3 Lucky Eggs will be available on the Go Web Store for $10. 500?
Even for $10, even for $1, I would not buy Pokeballs. But that's just me.
That's kind of crazy.
That's right.
500?
I'm gonna move it along a little bit more because our guest is actually waiting on us already. So, event bundles, 2 community bundles, just like before. 1350 for 50 Ultra Balls, Super Incubators, or at least 5 Super Incubators, an Elite Charge TM, and 5 Lucky Eggs. 40 Pokecoins for 30 Ultra Balls, 1 Incense, and 3 Super Incubators, and 1 Lower Module. So they're not bad. I mean, they could be better, but it is because they gave us Ultra Balls anyways. And then some
cute stickers.
And cute stickers. They're really cute. Wooper is always a cute guy, anyways. Excuse me. So that is Community Day. Hope you guys are excited. Wooper and Paleo Whooping, actually, at least Paleo Whooping seems to be good. They're saying that it's gonna break the meta. In some ways, I don't know. It's gonna be another Mud Boy. In other ways, I guess.
Yeah, it's something to fight fairies.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so before we continue on with some news, I know we still have a little bit going on. We are actually going to go ahead and get our guests here today. So give us just a moment to get everything set up. Let's see if we at some point we actually drop the call here, guys. Just give us like a few minutes to get everything else ready. So bear with me while we get our guests on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Should be able to just do this. All right. Well, at least that was working. So, all right. So we are waiting for our friend to answer. Let's see. Should be good in a moment, hopefully. Let's see how it goes. But anyways, while we wait for our guest to really do appear here, yeah. So, Pellet Whooper, or at least Clodsire, like I was mentioning before, I hear that he's going to break the meta once again, just like another like Carbine and things like that. Maybe not gonna be like number 1, but it's definitely going to change the meta in some ways that a lot of people are not gonna get used to. Oh, looks like we are here. Just give it a more seconds here to get it going. I think he's just setting up his camera. Oh, hey.
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going, Lane? Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Usually I cut it off. The way I stream it cuts off all my card bulk back here, but I guess it'll just have to do.
Don't worry about
Extra
it. Don't worry about it. I have like this whole side here that I usually cut off too, so it's not a problem. Are you good on the microphone? I think that maybe Discord doesn't have your microphone. I just want to make sure that.
Yeah, let me check real quick.
Because I'm hearing a little bit difference from the last time we talked.
It's probably the camera. Let's see.
Is that better?
Yep, there we go.
There we go. It was probably definitely the camera.
Yeah, it definitely is. So, everybody listening to the podcast today, please welcome Lane from the Good Morning Johto show podcast. I mean, that's how you're going to know. Welcome to the Purified podcast, guys. Guy.
Thanks for having me on. I had you on last week, so it's a kind of I wanted to hop on a longer show.
Yeah, no, definitely. So to really introduce, and sorry, my voice is not working today because I've been sick this entire week, so don't mind me. Or at least
Excuse.
excuses, I know, right? So let's actually get to meet Lane and see what he does and what we do. So let's talk. Who are you, Lane? What do you do? And tell us what's
The whole spiel. So yeah, my name is Lane. I do a Monday through Friday. It's mostly Pokemon Go, but if I feel like a TCG is added or a VGC result, what we do, we're a Good Morning Johto, a daily radio show, about 10 to 15 minutes every single Monday through Friday. We've been going since December. I think we're about 200 shows in.
Nice.
But we cover Go every single day. But we do it based in Johto because it gives us the radio aspect to be a little more cheesy. Does that make sense?
No, it
like
makes sense.
I went to school for radio. I was a radio host for many years, and it was one to do just radio hosting and Pokemon together because I think there wasn't a lot of quick get your info podcasts out there for Pokemon Go,
Right.
just Pokemon in general. So having something that you can eating a bowl of cereal, drive to work, anything like that, it would be that's kind of what this was made for.
And I love it. I love the format. I love the way that you actually really put in that effort to just give us the
my
bit of
gosh.
news and everything.
Yeah.
Especially because most of the time when you're recording, you're like a day ahead or a day behind, and technically of what you're recording, and then you just put the news in there. And I'm just like, how does he know that like what we're happening in the same day? You know, and then all of a
Well,
sudden I
it's
remember.
you and I talked about this last week. It's staying up late enough that nothing's going to happen. And it's partly that's kind of what made the show, to be honest, because I've been playing Go since the day one, but I started listening to podcasts after Worlds in 2022, just kind of learning. I'm like, you know what? Everybody's covering last week, right? Like, because you can't guess next week, or they put out news so quickly that I'm like, you know what? Let me do. What if we did a daily show? Because everybody that we know kind of covers last week's stuff. So yeah, trying to get it out there, trying to get it like for the non-Twitter people is kind of what this show is made for.
Which is good. I mean, definitely something that, again, we don't see every day. You actually have a good sense of actually putting in the news, regardless of how maybe the day before or the day right on the day of, and you even get guests going and things like that. You work all the way from Monday to Friday, and then have your nice weekend off and everything. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, I base it because you said Monday through Friday with weekends off. That's a radio show.
That is.
I only cover news, right? I try not to let my opinion get in the show, unless sometimes we'll do like a once per quarter opinion Fridays, like a feedback, like basically letting it fly. Like what was good, what was bad, what did I think about it? But letting it be the news, right? Like there was so much out there just letting people this, that, and the other of what's going on, and just trying to just get everything like. Because now it's not just Pokemon Go news; it's like how PvP is affected or different things like that, right? Like you guys covered it that last week too. So it's something that I really wanted to act like a job. So because if we think about it, I put the same amount of time, like kind of you guys do, or you guys do more. I just break it up over 5 days.
Yeah.
Right?
I love the daily aspect of it too, because we got the running joke. Oh man, Niantic's gonna put something out right after our show, but you got the pleasure of reporting on it that next day, like ready to go.
It's right there. I've
that's
added
right.
stuff before, and that's the thing with daily too. I knew this when I started my life. I wanted to kind of blend a little bit. So it's like I'll have a mic attached to me while I'm driving. Like if it's late and I'm not going to get home, I'll have my wife read the news. Like we did a Jonas Brothers concert a month ago.
Yep.
And she was telling me the news where we were going. I have like the mic set up and kind of everything together because I did nationals, I think that way because nationals is about an hour from where I'm from, hour and a half ish. But yeah, like it was something. It's hard. I remember our Fish on a Heater called me crazy in the nicest way possible of like going daily. I took I'm about to take a November break, and then I took a summer break. But
All right.
that is, it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, November is not gonna be like super heavy on some other things here and there, unless they release another feature or something like that. But December is gonna be the
Oh,
definite of the year for
I
sure.
said Halloween is our Christmas and Christmas is our Christmas. That's kind of how I said it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that is our big time. It's kind of like when everything happens, because that's why I said like a year ago from today, the show wasn't even in its infancy, right? It was even thought about. And then by March, I'm talking maybe Go Fest is actually in the cards. Like, not even ever thinking, hey, like, this is not something that will actually, like, happen, right? Like, this is not, never before I'm like, I have no reason to go. And then by March is, well, I guess I'm going. And then you and me meeting at an Irish pub, like, like that's the, out of all the places,
Yeah.
it is what kind of led to like a lot of things really quickly. We'll say that.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, I know that New York was the very first time we met. Do you remember if we actually met before then? Do you went to
I
2019?
don't
or
think so because I go to a lot of regionals and I go to like I went to nationals, but that's what I'm saying. Like I really started going to stuff in December. So I watched Worlds 2022 and I loved it. I was really into it. By October, listening to podcasts, really like learning that I played this game wrong for like 6 years. And then by December, I'm like, am I crazy enough to do this? So yeah, like I wasn't even around. Like I was not a person on the radar. And then it was just like out of nowhere. It's kind of like what the show does is it's its own thing that every day you get an episode pushed to you. So no matter where you are, you see, or well, not my face, but my beautiful voice just going everywhere, kind of around. But yeah, like it was definitely it was my first time meeting almost everyone.
Yeah.
In our friend group, just because I just didn't go to anything.
And even for me, like I actually didn't really go until like 2019 anyways. I was wanting to planning to do it like earlier in years, at least in the first emphasis of Pokemon Go when it comes down to it. But I never really had the time or every time something happens or the announcement came out for like GoFest, it was like, oh, well, I guess I can't take this day off of work because of it, kind of the thing. Because
well, we talked about it a little bit. I think like it was off the air, but where my daily job is working as a like management at a Pokemon Play Store, they're more encouraging me to go to bring them back. Sigaglyphs, like Aerodactyls and stuff like that. So it's the opposite of like, it's more of you need to take off work to go do this thing.
yeah, definitely.
It's the other part of the job of like the crazy.
I wish.
Love doing that.
Bro, I wish to. One of those things.
We said it was the nerd's dream, is what we said, right? It was the nerd's dream. That's what our friend Adam, right? Like that's what him and I always got like close to talking because he's big, more into the cards than most. But yeah, like and it's perfect too because when I'm selling people Pokemon cards or if I see someone with the game, I'm like, hey, you got 10 minutes a day. Like, hey, you wanna learn about something? Like it's almost where I have the people near. It helps out. But it's sad and great at the same time. A majority of my community is not here. Like not my local. Like I'm in hillbilly Kentucky, Ohio. I always say the OH and Johto is capitalized. So a lot of our people, like we still have a good community. We still have a great game board here, but it's just it's more built elsewhere, which I think is really cool. Like I learned this a long time ago, especially at our store. Hillbillies and nerd stuff sometimes go hand in hand, but not. I said that I wanted to live stream here because it'd be so much different than everywhere else. Because I'd be like someone with moonshine shotgun sitting on a table, or like running down. Like it would be the different version of the local Pokemon Go streams.
Yeah,
It would definitely stand out.
oh yeah, and you have that beautiful voice, brother. Like seriously, like
Oh, yeah.
like that one radio boss that you always want to have.
It was that, yeah. So they teach you in college of like the regular voice, and then you can go down to the booming, and you kind of like slip into it. Like I used to do the trucking commercial, like the monster truck commercials, like the cheesy ones, right? Like it's like the Sunday, but my favorite line they ever sent was, "We'll sell you the whole seat, but all you need is the edge." Was like the perfect. Oh my gosh! Like it was so great, and like that was like when you said that for like the voice in high school, they sat me down. They're like, "Hey, your grades aren't good. Like your science isn't good, your math isn't good, your whatever is not good. But you know what you have, kid? Your voice is all right. Now your face, though, like they literally said, they were like, we don't think you could go into news, but radio. And I'm like, okay. So then, like, going to college, learning, like, they hand you dictionaries on, like, how to phonetically speak, like, how to say words, and then being on air for 6 years, morning show wise, and doing all that stuff. And it was definitely, I found it, and then it was like, oh, you know what's even better? Talking this way to nerds, like, please buy another Pokemon pack, or you sure you don't want some Obsidian Flames?
You gotta be passionate about something, yeah.
Well, it makes it so. Here's the crazy part: because I haven't been in radio, it made me want to do it in my own way, right? Like it made me want to do it. That since I was doing this, like it was one of my passions is not just hearing my voice. I don't want that to sound like an egotistical type of thing, but I wanted to do something. So combining Pokemon in my own way, and what is my own way? And I'm like, okay, I guess. Good Morning Johto was a 4-week process of like, would it actually work? What would it look like? Would my wife leave me if I did this? Like every night I have to come downstairs to the studio every single night almost. Like so technically I get Friday and Saturday night off because then I'm posting the next morning. But I'm like, okay, is that enough time with my family? Am I doing this? Like, is this something that even fits in the market? What is the market? Like, so it was like a 4-week process of even like, because it's such a big task, and that was the big thing. And I think New York was one of those. No one knew my name, but they called me the coffee guy. So I took that. Like that was the
guy.
I was about to actually ask.
Johto Java Blend coffee.
There you go.
So we'll take that.
Yes, I was about to ask actually about the coffee because it's like, how did that actual thing came to be in the end of the day?
Yeah, it's so crazy that we all are. I heard this from one of our friends, and it was we all can be in the same circle and all cover the same news in our own different way, right? And I was thinking of like, okay, t-shirts are fine, this stuff is fine, and it just so happens that the store that I work for selling the nerd stuff, as I call it, that it also we brew we roast coffee, we do the different types of coffee that in the bigger stores. In the bigger cities, like if you go to your capitals, your big tourist traps, usually your nerd stores will have a pub, a pizzeria, a restaurant, something. I feel like I'm blowing Chris's mind right now because one of the stores we knew like that you can order a pizza and then you get a build and battle kit or you get a elite trainer box. They were like, okay, yeah, can I have an 18-inch pepperoni? Hold the anchovies, add some obsidian flames, and they're like, "Yep, be there in 45 minutes."
I'd be terrified. I'd be like, "Hey, I just ate my pizza. I gotta go to the bathroom, wash my hands, then we'll open
it." Yeah, like,
but then you got like your friend across the table, like, "Yo, let me see that Charizard you just pulled."
Like that's what I said people wouldn't leave the house. So what we did was to keep nerds gaming for longer, staying up late, giving them energized. We've always been big into coffee, so. It became that we started roasting coffee and we had all that. And I wasn't really involved in the roasting process and the flavoring process, but it was there. And one of the customers, and I was so mad, I wish I would have came up with it. And it was, why don't you make a Johto Java Blend? And I got so angry. Like, because I'm like, that is the most genius idea I've ever heard of. Like, that is... So literally, like I went to the drawing board there. I'm like, what would it be? What would it taste like? What would I want? Of course, the owner of the business was full on board, full everything. Like wanted to support me no matter what. And it took from January to July, kind of like testing different things, how we wanted it. Like I said, like I'll send you guys bags to test out because we have I have some taste test bags ready to go that just to try it out. But it was really something. We wanted to test. Sorry, my daughter was about to make a guest appearance. But it was something that we wanted to test. And I was going to try to make it with New York, but it was... A lot of people flew there, right? And I didn't want it to be a weird thing on the way back. And I would go to regionals and I would go to nationals with little sleeves. I'm not joking. I would take a sleeve of cards and I would put beans in them. I would staple it to a business card, and I ran to every single Go player in a hall. And I would run, and they're like, hey, what are we supposed to do with these beans? I'm like, I don't know. They're yours now. Smell them, eat them, sniff them, do whatever you want. Because I wanted them to get the aroma of what the actual thing would be like. So, Good Morning Johto, Java Blend came to be. Gosh, someone pitched me another idea for another name the other day, and it was also really good, and I got mad. But yeah, like it was just to make it different, right? Nothing says a morning show like coffee. Yeah. That is,
I like that.
Getting the morning coffee and stuff right. Like that was we really it was something we worked on a long time just to make it kind of different than the other places.
That's great, and I can already see.
Now we're going to see the Pure Lighter, pure cold brew coming through next, or like the.
If I could get a sponsor like that, that'd be amazing, you know?
The Purified cold brew, nitro brew.
Chris is gonna be like the Baja Blast brew or something, you know?
The coffee is what was. I had to do. It's what we think about in the wee hours, right? Of like, how do we set ourselves apart?
Yeah,
that's
like,
right.
How do we do this different? Like that was one thing that we could think about as creators on like the. What does Jamal call it? Like the inside baseball side of it is what he always calls it. Like the how to make its thing. Because you can spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on technology. You can buy the best stuff, buy the best camera, or whatever. But if you just don't have the attitude or don't have like the space for it, you're just done. Like
yeah, dude. So many people enter the zone and then they give up in like a week.
Yeah, no, they're
so,
definitely.
Yeah, you gotta be able to keep moving.
Definitely.
It was especially when we were in New York, because I made fun of Luis for it, but he had a great bed and I slept on an air mattress in a kitchen. Like when we got to ours, it was so bad compared. I was going. I didn't tell you this. I was going to that pub to be like, I gotta find a place to sleep tonight. Like there is no way possible that we can sleep there.
Yeah.
And they're like, all the other guys with me were like, no, like it'll be fine, because it was supposed to sleep like 13, but it slept 6. So we had, I believe, 4 air mattresses that we had to buy, and yeah, but no, it ended up working out. Like, but it ended up as it was a wild. I was so tired. I was so tired.
Yeah. Well. I don't know. That lure up Discord is definitely a little bit crazy when it comes down to it. And whenever we get things going, it's just one of those things in the other day.
We were begging Ken to stop when we were at the park.
Yeah.
Do you remember that at Central Park?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You were like walking around. Oh my god.
I was crying almost from the blisters on my feet, because that's what he does. Like he doesn't stop to eat. He'll go to a cart and then it'll add to the next 20 blocks, and then he'll get a new thing at the cart. And we're like, please let us sit down. Like, it's like that Holes meme of like, I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Well, that's too damn bad.
That was Ken Pescator at that time.
Yeah.
Like,
and he finished the whole walk. Like he didn't even like take a bus or anything at the end of the day.
No. We walked 65 miles in about 2.5 days. Is what my thing was. And like, I'm not skinny. Like I am a larger lad.
Yeah. No. Same here.
No. It was great.
Yeah. I mean, the adventure is amazing, but it definitely has its downsides at the end of the day.
I remember I brought my brother and I took him out of high school because my parents thought it'd be a funny thing to take a teenager and be like, hey, skip school. You'll have them. Who cares about science class? That's maybe why I didn't do well. But it was like, you know what you'll remember? Pokemon Go with like 300,000 people in New York. And
yeah.
Like,
it's kind of a crazy experience, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the hard part of where I am, because nothing's close, but like I'm one flight away, but still a flight's like 2 hours. Like I don't have an airport. So like everything's going to be about the same, except that Nashville Go Fest that we talked about. That would be yeehaw, baby. Like that would
now that I think about it, because you actually reminded me after we talked about when we're going to have the next Go Fest, I feel like Ohio might be another one. I told you West Virginia had the Ingress event this year. Yeah.
And I don't think Ohio could prepare. Like, if so, then great. Love it. I said that's why I think Nashville could do it, because I think it would be like give us cowboy everything, yeehaw, like that. Like Pokemon loves its little like cowboy stuff. But Ohio's cheap. That's why we always had nationals for 5 years. Ohio's cheap.
That's what I'm saying.
But now they're moving it to New Orleans just because we outgrew it here.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they want it, that in Virginia. So if you want to know the cheap states, that in Virginia is where usually like card games have big stuff.
Yeah, I can see it, but again, it has to be in the north. It's always going to be the summer north for us, no matter how much look at it. If we do it anywhere in Florida or anything like that, we're gonna die of heat during the summer. So
yeah, that would be like a go or like what's it, the March? Like what's that called?
Go tour.
Yeah, like I can see that, right? Like that's kind of what they did with Vegas, but do that with like a Florida type of thing. But I wouldn't know. Well, I don't know where like big parks are. Like I'm not a park enthusiast.
If we're really going like incredibly south, I mean Miami will be okay. But if we're going like just Florida and Central, maybe Jacksonville wouldn't be a bad idea. I think they have some good stuff over there they can actually use. They just need a big park.
Well, that's what they talk about before, is because a lot of like Europe and those countries have private parks that are big, and just the U.S. just doesn't have private parks really.
I don't think Pokemon actually likes Florida these days anyway. So just for
are you kidding me?
reasons.
Don't you guys have like Carnivine or something? You guys have something.
Yeah, we got everything.
So so that specific line of regionals only it's up to Orlando, and I think after that anything above that it becomes stores again. So we lose Heracross, we lose Corsola, we lose Carnivine, we lose... Actually, no, Carnivine should be up there. I don't know, Maracas? I think Maracas is like regional, I think. I don't remember.
It is because I'm about to go... I told you I'm going to Miami in a month, and I'm looking up like... And that was one, yes.
Yeah, good luck on the Corsola. Nobody has gotten it yet.
I'll be in the Caymans, so that'll be the hope there.
Yeah.
But I'll be in Mexico, and I'll be like... I've already looked up the stops. I've already looked up the stuff to try to get a Lucha boy.
Yeah. So you actually answer like half of the questions we were actually about to ask you anyway.
Good.
So
I didn't even want you to talk, Luis. I don't even want you and every Chris on every Pokemon podcast ever. Everybody has a Chris. I'm just going to answer all the questions.
Yeah. So one of the things that a lot of people want to know a little bit more, we probably actually talked about it on your podcast. What is your favorite Pokemon game of all time?
My favorite Pokemon game ever?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
We've gotten some funny answers.
I'm going to give... I guess it's not really an answer. I'll give an actual answer. I think Crystal's really good. I really like Platinum. Even like the Heart Gold, Soul Silver games, like, but they changed the dynamic of it, right? Like the buddy thing was cool, the everything. But the reason why I love Gen 2, and I still think Gen 2 is the GOAT, because you get 2 games. You get 2 games in one game. You get 16 badges. Everything else is 8. Because I remember with Soul Silver, I'm like, oh, maybe like they'll continue it. Like this will be the time, right? Like, no, you get 2 of them. What a deal!
That was pretty hype as a kid.
I remember as a kid, I'm like, what? I get to go back? Like, it's like
you get
that
to fight
was
all the gym leaders, the lead 4 again, and then Red afterwards in the end. When we found that out,
Red
that was crazy.
At the end. I think Platinum just because of like with Giratina and stuff. But I'm also really big into the ROM hacks. Like I even take it a step further. I bought a like one of those old, like they play all the old games, right? Like it's a third party thing that will play. But I got it because you can upload all the ROM hacks on.
Yeah.
And it's like a Game Boy size, so I have like 30 ROM hacks that I play like on it. But no, it's because I love those too. I think just playing new anything is so good. Like,
you know, that answer is so genuine that I forgot that your show is called Good Morning Johto, you know?
Yeah, like that was the part, right? So my favorite Pokemon's in Gen 3, but Johto I like because it has the radio tower, like stuff before, right? Like that was partly why we connected it all. And I'm like, it is my favorite. Johto works, has the radio tower, has everything in it. I'm like, oh man, like putting it all together. No, but Ludicolo's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Nobody can.
I will never forget playing just Pokemon Coliseum and just watching Ludicolo Lance with Mr. B or Mirror B.
That's it. Like nothing keeps up with my energy unlike a Ludicolo. I've always said that. Like it's my spirit animal. I have him clipped on the show. He'll pop up on the show every now and then.
Oh, I know, right?
But like Gen 2 is just it's the stuff.
Yeah, and especially after the remakes too. I mean, the remakes just made it so much better. But yeah, let's move on a little bit more. Real quick, if you could actually go back and change any shiny in the game for the better, what would it be?
Zapdos or Pikachu.
Okay. So
I
just
don't like was it the barely shinies?
yeah,
I don't
the
think,
basically like the just a contrast color combination. Like
I think they make Pikachu better over the years. Like they kind of burnt him up a little more. But I remember
very
like all
fair.
those like just barely shinies are just they're not doing it for me.
Yeah, I think
That's
that
just off the top of my head.
I know I just got a new edition of Cerulean. I think it's the Gen 9 Pokemon. Literally, only the eyes change color.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't like Jigglypuff does that too. I think there's a few that just like you can barely see.
Jigglypuff and Igglypuff actually they changed a little bit of their color scheme too, but it's like
Yeah.
one of those contrast kind of deal. The eyes at least helps them a lot, but you know some Pokemon they literally just only change some things, and I'm just like, why?
I wish Umbreon was white. I think that would have been cool, right?
Would be
Like
good. Yeah, that would be good.
because with the blue rings.
but that's also a little contrast because yellow just turned it up a lot, brighter and everything. So blue actually helps it a lot. So, but yeah, real quick, one of the things that we last to ask, what has been your biggest win in Pokemon Go? Like what is like your greatest accomplishment in that game?
My greatest accomplishment here. I gotta find the date.
Ooh.
I remember. It was this weird Wobbuffet from 2020 New Year's Eve, and it's a female event shiny Shundo.
Oh,
So it's event female, so it has the lips. I think that's cool. And then also the Shundo was like the big thing then. Other than that, how do I say this? I believe Pokemon Go, this is my hot take. Pokemon Go is the greatest game to ever be made. I think that is up there for me. It has continued, changed how like the game sphere has worked. Others have tried to copy it and not hit the existence. And for me, it is not the PvP. It's not the shiny hunting. I am the what week is it? What new event is there? Let's continue on, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't. The PvP part's cool. The shiny hunt's cool. I love the Wayfarer part. Like, there's not one part that I like or love less. So like that's why accomplishment to me is like this really weird thing that happened. But Go Fest was really fun, but I was afraid since this is like a weird thing, but like since it's an intangible thing, like will catching 100 Aerodactyls matter to me? Well,
Yeah.
the answer is yes. But it was like what with that was like what do I want from this game? And I just want I like new events. I like different things.
Yeah, I think that Pokemon Go really had a sense to really push over. Like I know that it was a little bit difficult at the time, and I think I remember Ken actually telling us that when Pokemon Go came out, there was only like 7 employees in the entire game. So there was like you can understand from that actual saying that the game had its problems from the beginning, and they had to handle the entire world worth of people that actually just like probably cussing them out, saying why it's not working or things like that. But 7 people, 7 initial Niantic employees, and now look at how it's going.
Yeah, like I was on air when Pokemon released. I think you and I talked about it the other day. I was Pokemon Go. I was downloading it on air, and I like just sprinted outside. Like my shift ended at 10 a.m. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have the whole rest of the day to go do whatever. But yeah, like those times, I love those times, like those early times.
Yeah.
Some people hate them, but I thought they were great.
I always love it, and just like everybody's saying, it was literally world peace, the summer of world peace.
It was.
So, and then a few things before we actually end this interview here. If you could pick one aspect of the game and permanently fix or improve, which aspects would it be? Even if it's just 1 or 2, I don't know, whatever you want to pick.
Don't worry. I have a few. So I think Monster Hunter showed us a couple things that we could add. I think biomes are really cool.
Yes.
Like show me what I'm in so I know what I can actually catch, right? Like kind of like this is what you can see in this area. Like not even telling me like what's here, like what can be here. I think what was it? There was something else. Like I have a list. So I keep a list on my phone of Pokestops I need to update during the week.
Yeah.
Like some I need to go take pictures of. What was the one? I think that's a big one. I think there has to be a PvP change. in the sense of show me what IVs I'm looking for. Give me a tutorial. Like, give me what is this, or where can I find Pokemon Go competitive locally? Because they're trying to launch that locally, but because TPCI and Niantic are separate entities working together, it makes it a little weird.
Yeah.
So just show me what, like, more of that. I think Wayfair should be a part, like, kind of in Campfire to review and do stuff through there. Because if you want stuff to not sit in the queue for a year, to go past this test and you go, like, you know what I mean? It's going to other places and driving people to other places is a little difficult. I think 1-star raids are rarer than 5-star raids. I think that's a thing. Because I see Darkrai raids every 2 seconds. I've seen like one Graveyard raid, right?
Yeah.
So I think making those actually, but and then in my mind, it's because you need more people with 5-star. You're paying the price, but you're not like you, Luis. If I send you a Darkrai raid, you're like, okay, maybe. But if I send you a 1-star raid, you're like, oh, I don't really care about this.
Yeah.
Oh, ready up button for 1-star raids,
Please.
or solo.
Yeah.
Give me that.
I actually, one of the things that Chris and I were always talking about is like the raid pool is so saturated with just so many different things now that it's crazy, because we have a regular 1, 3, and 5, then we have Shadow 1, 3, and 5, and then Megas, and then maybe Elite Race here and there, and then I don't know. It's just like it's so saturated with just so many things, and people can't really just like pinpoint what they want these days, because you get to see an egg. Oh, it's a shadow. Okay, so I don't want to do this. Oh, I see a raid. It's a 3-star. Okay, I don't want to do this. You know, kind of thing. So it's so saturated. It's like I understand that that's like the biggest factor, because rating has been a big factor since 2017. But it's just like, why giving us all this much when you took away half of that after getting rid of the 2s and 4s, and then you introduce 4 again.
Shadow raids that really do it right, because when they're only weekends, and let's say, what was it? Like a 5-star that may be only there for 2 days, right? Like then that Shadow 5-star is taking place of that. But that's definitely one, like, that was one I really thought. But the one I thought of the other day, because I literally was Scorpy Day, but not like they did it, right? Like so you did the instance day, where they did it for 5 hours, they switched, but people were not complaining because Twitter's going to be Twitter.
Yeah.
That it was it was taking part of the Halloween spawns, right? So I thought, what if the Scorpy Day, and you cut like the spawns in half, and like you make the instances last like the whole day, right? Like if they last 3 hours, they've done that before. And then if you want to, you can, right? Like that was your way to get Scorpy, right? Like if you didn't want it, then you didn't have to do instances. You didn't have to buy it. You didn't have to do the stuff. But if you wanted to catch a bunch, like you're basically non-clogging the map, kind of like you just said with raids, but in a different way. Like let's say you're in the middle of an event for a community day, and like let's say community day was this Saturday during Halloween. Well, you may want Halloween. You may not want Zigzagoon, right? So like having it as a available option, and I know they can do it because they did it to us in New York. Because if you didn't have a pass on this giant island, just huge, you get nothing. It was geographically just blocked. So yeah, no, you asked for one thing, I have a list. Like
we're okay with that. We definitely we definitely have a lot of when it comes to the game that we love too much, and it's some good pointers, because in the end of the day, I feel like that's something that everybody's gonna discuss from here until eternity, or until Pokemon Go ever ends, if it ever ends at this point. But that's
I hope if it never ends, I will be happy. I will be 80 years old playing this game. Gen 35 is just coming out. We saw in New York, I saw an 80-year-old couple that were playing that I sent to my wife. Like, this is what I want to be. Like, this is it.
Something Speediest Chief has said to us before that I think about all the time is we want the game to improve a lot because of how passionate we are about it.
Oh,
yeah, and that's why people get angry about it, right? Because you're so passionate about something, but when you cross that line of being just a total jerk of like like that you're critiquing it so much, because I have this list, I've never said this on my show. Like, this is nothing that's ever crossed. This is a maybe Luis will ask me one day list of what I think, and boom, I'm ready to go.
There you
like
go,
this is a what I thought of, random things. But yeah, like especially when you're just yelling on Twitter, or you want to yell at Niantic because they can't yell back at you, It's an easy argument when the person can't yell back at you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and like you said,
Screaming into the void
if
for no
there's
reason.
people, like however many people, right, like are working on different parts of this game. It is a. We'll see. We've seen a difference every year. I've always said this. Don't compare it now to 6 years ago. Compare this game now to like 2 years ago or 1 year ago. Like with like, and here's the thing too. They're trying, right? Like we tried with routes. We got the Gimmighoul special golden whatever. Like we got what else? There was a couple more things that. Oh, I like the raid or the party stuff. Think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Other than if it wipes all my team stuff, don't like that. But. You know what I mean? So we can add a half dozen features from the last year that is them trying. Like now people said maybe you should fix the stuff before we go on to make new stuff. But no, I keep it up. I like a lot of the new stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Lane, I think that's all we have for you. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a couple more news to cover. I don't know if you want to stick around. I know you're a busy guy.
I do.
You want to stick around?
I do.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
I'm a radio person that went to. I like to talk.
All right. Well, I mean, stick around for the news. We definitely are. We got a few more things to cover here and there. However, though, I mean, you are more than welcome to put your opinion on any of this when we go over real quick. And at the same time, at the end of this, we'll actually go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you and all those things.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Give us a moment. So, as part of the interview, it's not over. If anybody is listening, of course, thank you so much for listening. Let's go ahead and move to the next part, which is the first part of the next part of the news, which is Halloween Part 2, and everybody's excited because again, it's customs again. Woohoo! They also promotized this with the Party Play feature, but Halloween Part 2 is here. Parade with Pokemon Go this Halloween with Pokemon wearing customs and brand new ways to play with your friends. So, spooky season at its finest. We have 2 new Pokemon debuts. And in the earliest days, I used to say debuts for some reason. I don't know why. But Pokemon Go debuts, this starting on October 26th at 10 a.m. and then ending on Tuesday 31st at 8 p.m. local time. Pikachu wearing the Tricks and Treats costume and Gengar wearing the Tricks and Treats costume will be available in the wild.
Hey, Tricks and Treats one more time.
Tricks and Tricks.
There we go.
Okay.
No, it was just a
I
tongue
do not.
I
I do not like the Gengar. I'll be real.
Well, the Gengar cannot compare to the one from the previous Halloween costume, so that's pretty.
That's what I said. When you put it in a vacuum, you're like, oh, it's fine. But when you compare it to others, you're like, come on.
Yeah, no, definitely differences for it. The wall spawns for this event. We have the Pikachu with the Tricks and Treats costume. I said it right this time. Vulpix wearing the Spooky Festival costume, which is actually from previous events. Murkrow, Mischievous, Sableye, Pimplow with the Halloween Michi's costume, which is coming back from, 2 years ago at this point. Drifloon, the Mask, Sora, Fennekin, Phantom, Pumpkaboo wearing the Spooky Festival costume, which is actually pretty cool. And then Noibat. And then some trainers may even encounter the Gengar wearing the Trick and Tricks costume. However, out of the whole list, this all are shiny Pokemons available for everybody to catch if you can find them. However, a brand new shiny is being introduced into the game. And this is the Sora's first shiny release. This is going to be a hard one to find, though. Because
yeah, keep in mind, guys, Zora doesn't spawn on the map. It shows up as your buddy. So you're going to have to catch it.
You want to put the biggest thing you possibly can. Because I know with some of the spawns now, they can be tiny and hide in a cluster. Mm-hmm. So then do I just put like Mega Rayquaza as my thing? Like,
know, right?
I've been walking Rayquaza and it's been hilarious.
Yeah, every time I see something like that. I had my Arcanine for a while there. I just finished my Best Buddy in it, but because we had the event with Hisu and Growlithe and Arcanine spawning in the wild, I was like, is this an Arcanine or this is my buddy? Or one of the two, So
yeah, I walked Lopunny for a while and it was not it. Like I could never tell if it was a Zora or not.
Yeah, I have my sister right now, so hopefully that will be enough to know the differences because you don't spawn like item evolutions or whatever it's called in the end of the day. So we're also gonna have a time research for this event completed to encounter Halloween themed Pokemon such as Sora, Phantom, custom Pokemon, and more. The event bonuses: additional candies for successfully catching Pokemon with a nice, great, and excellent throw. Same for the extra large candy one. Custom Pokemons can this is actually pretty cool. Custom Pokemon can have a chance to give additional candy when caught, and also on October 31st specifically, custom Pokemons will have a chance to give Rare Candy and Rare Candy XL one caught. Thoughts, Chris?
Yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about on Twitter how nobody's talking about it. Dude, I've been advocating it since day one. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for every costume Pokemon and trying to hit those good catches and everything. And yeah, hopefully we are able to get a really good amount of rare candy extra large because you're gonna want to use them for the legendaries that are hard to raid.
I'm definitely gonna have to clear out my regular rare candy custom
Or the
bag because I
mythicals.
have like 12 or like 12,000 or 1,200 extra regular candy. Extra large candy is like it's still there, but I have quite a bit of it since I raid a lot in person now. Lane, any thoughts on this? Like I know that's like,
Yeah, I think because we haven't got details yet if we can evolve some of them, right? Like I think we could from the Vulpix last year or the year before, whenever it was.
yeah.
Yeah, as long as we can evolve some of them, that would be like absolutely fine.
Worried
Gengar's
about
really, I
pickup.
think just having the costume Gengar, I think the rare candy stuff I think is great. I think that's also like the is probably the best part. The showcases too. Because there's like special Halloween showcase that's out there, and I think like I said, this is our biggest event of the year mostly. Like every season has its big one, but Halloween has been consistently our big thing. I wish Graveyard would be a little more like an easier to find type of situation.
Yeah, it's all in raids right now, so it's crazy. I actually just did one, so I got an extra one from.
I drove out of my way to like do one today because I still need to do the 60 raids for Master Ball.
Yeah,
But it at least it stays, and I believe in 1 star for this one. Hopefully it didn't run together, and I'm not wrong.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I think that's right.
Yeah, you're right. The one thing that I'm a little disappointed about this actual like bonus when it comes down to it is that only happens on the 31st, and that's a Tuesday right now this week or this coming week.
I wish it was a little bit more, but it does make sense, I guess, because it's more like kind of like trick or treat candy.
I can't fall the Halloween fall in on a weekday when I'm working and things like that, so I can't really when it comes down to it, you're gonna have to suck it up and just go on for the rest of the day.
Yeah, same.
I'm definitely gonna be grinding after work for sure, but that's because catching custom Pokemon and it's custom Pokemon, so it's not gonna be like the only thing that's gonna spawn there anyways. But either way, it is how it is. 1-star raids will have Ghastly, Mischievous, and Phantom, which everybody's always looking for the Phantom these days. 3 stars will only have Gengar with the tricks and treats. I don't know about that. It seems kind of weird. 5 stars we have Darkrai, which we know it's been featured since the last few days anyways. And then Mega raids will have Mega Bennett. Still pretty cool in the end of the day. The phone Pokemon will also be available to complete in Field Rich's tasks. We have Miss Magius, Galarian Mask and Phantom in research task, and then some of them can encounter Grievant. So this actually, it's good because they're actually taking it away from raids and put it into research. Which, I think that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to look for the Hundo and things like that, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I'd rather that. It's more free.
Well, and it's also the only way to get the like the Galarian UMass too.
You can get it from X right now, from 7KX.
Well, okay. What's easier? All right, I can watch like hatch a 7K maybe a day, but if I can like, it's easier because I'm also around a lot of stops. I guess that's true. I have a home stop in my work. Like, we have 3 stops, so being able to like target something's a little easier,
right?
than walking like a normal person. But
do you drift in your work? Like, do you open the game and
kinda because so we have our store one, we have a TPCI like Play Store one, and then like the business next door. So we do a little bit, but it's mostly like we'll take like the smoke breaks or Pokemon Go, like we're gonna walk around the block breaks or like we're gonna like that's what I'm saying. It's different than every job because when you said like, oh, I got work Tuesday, I'm like, well, I also have work Tuesday, but I can like
play.
Okay, I'm gonna go to a raid real quick. Like it's very common, like, hey, we're gonna go do this. So yeah, for walking eggs though, it is like it's a little different, but I wish we could have got it because it is huge in PvP right now. Is the Galarian Mask, and we're not going to see it again, right? It's not going to be a Christmas. Put a hat on Galarian Mask, let's right. Like this will be probably our one time we get it, and it's a little harder to get than.
That's right. You're
like
right.
Freaking Spirit Tomb.
It is.
Did you get a hundo?
Yes.
He
You
got a
suck.
Honda.
You suck. I put out like, oh, I missed, and I'm like, oh, look, you missed too, and I'm like, oh, wait, no, you didn't. You sucks. Like, that's exactly how my reaction was.
You know what's funny too? I think Pure Letter said it's his second Honda too.
It is. That's that first one was from one of those previous events, anyways. But still, yeah. When I saw the CP, I was like, I could have been shiny. It could have been the Shando, and of course, it wasn't the shiny. It's the only one I'm gonna see, anyways. Whatever the case may be. The time research, where events exclusive time research will be about October 19, which actually is already something that you can do and finish up if you need it. We already talked about that in the previous Halloween Part 1 event. Time research for Spiritomb is also available, like we mentioned before, and everybody's jealous that I got the Hondo. Anyways, Avatar Items is still the same from before. Stickers is the same as before. Time research for Prime Gaming is still the same. Pokemon Showcases will feature Drifloon or Phantom. So that's interesting, to say the least. Hopefully you've been saving your Phantoms, or at least your big Phantoms. Drifloon.
Well, that's the Spotlight Hour tomorrow too.
Is it? Oh, is it? Phantom?
I do this every day. Every day I look at these things. Yes. Oh gosh, now I hope so. I'm totally wrong.
Because right now I got a Greavyard in.
Yeah, Gravian is from the Spotlight, or the Spotlight and things right now, but or the Showcases. Sorry, no, the Spotlight itself is Phantom, which is cool because now the shiny is available and all that stuff. I may actually do something about that. The web store still has the same bundles. Event bundles is still the same out there. Then the time research trick and treating. Lavender music. Actually, I don't think we actually heard the Lavender music in a while. So I'm probably going to turn on the...
Does anyone play with their music on?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I did it once when Go Tour Kanto came out. I was like, oh, I want to listen to this, kind of deal. So I turned it off after the first hour. But, so... that was pretty cool. And of course, my battery was just dying that day specifically. So cool that it is. Halloween Part 2 will be here pretty soon. Exciting stuff. Chris, how excited are you about this event?
I will say Halloween is probably like my favorite event in Pokemon Go usually. I'm very curious like how close it's going to be. But it's funny how used to the Halloween scenery I've gotten already.
Yeah,
in Pokemon Go,
dude. It's like really cool when it changed over to the Halloween stuff and everything. I was like, can we just keep this for the rest of the year or something?
Like, I said that too. Of like, can we keep like a seasonal one? Like, for the hero one, we could have had like capes on the stops or something. Yeah. Like it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit,
or even change the color of the Pokestops. I mean, we've seen this for like 7 years, So, but it is how it is. Very exciting. Lane, how excited are you for Part 2? I'm pretty sure you are incredibly excited.
I am not minority, but I just like them all. Like, there's not an event I really like hate, but this one's really good. I will say I don't like Part 2 as much as I do Part 1, mostly because we don't know if costumes can evolve. The Zorora is fine, but I like the Phantom shiny, so I don't know if those spawn rates are going to change, because like you said too, it may be harder to hunt that Zorora. It really doesn't have a use in anything right now. Where Phantom could, like, you know what I mean? Trevenant has a use somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think it is. Like, the spawns are a little not better now, but it all depends on the costumes, honestly.
Well, I'm sure the Phantom is probably going to spawn more during Part 2.
It better.
Yeah, definitely will. Hopefully. I'm hoping. I mean, although Sora is going to be the chase regardless, so just keep an eye on your body in the map anyways. All right, so that's Part 2. And that is another piece of news. We do have a concurrent event happening right after or sometime in the last few days of that. Actually, at this point, it's this weekend. But Sinister Shadows abound this Halloween season. Team Go Rocket returns. Giovanni partners with Shadow Regigigas, and Shadow Lugia makes his Pokemon Go debut. Before we go on to the actual piece of news, can I just say that Giovanni just does not like Gen 3 legendaries or something? Because no matter how much we try to wait for Shadow Kyogre, or Shadow Groudon, or Shadow Rayquaza, it will never. I feel like it never comes into them and Shadow rotation.
They're messing with us. They're saving it for something special because they know we love them.
I'm just like, every single time, and I feel like this is gonna happen again. They're just gonna give us like Regidrago or Regieleki Shadow for some reason, and then they're just gonna skip over the whole thing. I think they're really scared of the power level of the Shadow Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza, just because of how strong they are by themselves, like they are, meta defiant. Having them as shadow can probably also just break like a lot of like the way that we look at things, So unless they give us at least one of each or nothing at all, that's probably not gonna be the case in the end of the day. But anyways, before I continue on ranting about that, so this is the Team Go Rocket takeover happening on October 26th, starting Thursday, October 26th at 10 a.m. to Tuesday, October 31st. So right at the end of the Halloween event. Save Shadow Regigigas. I don't know if Shadow Regigigas really has any more play from what it already does. I don't think it actually does anything to it. I know it's bulky as hell, but regardless of it doesn't have a good moveset, and it's slow as hell anyways. So,
Yeah, I think it's going to be a meme.
I was gonna say it looks cool. It's there.
yeah. I mean, I think doesn't it one of the eyes like actually change to red, or I think the
I don't
eyes
know.
like
I just have like Giovanni. Like I need to use it on something. I've been saving up like the regular like leader passes and then Giovanni stuff. I gotta use it on something.
Yeah, no, definitely. Not on every single one, but when it is how it is. However, though, we will have something that corrects, and actually it's a good thing about this. Shadow Raid debuts. Shadow Shiny Lugia will be available through this entire weekend. So starting on Saturday, October 28th at 10 a.m. to Sunday, October 29th at 8 p.m. local time. So this is just like the Mewtwo at this point. Like the next Mewtwo.
Don't bring up Mewtwo.
We need to raid this weekend. Unfortunately, I am working like the first half of Saturday, so it is how it is.
And it's bulky too, right? Like it'll take some people.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah,
is bulky.
Lugia is one of the few Pokemon that like you make it a shadow Pokemon and it just excels. I think this is gonna be the premiere of like this is gonna be like one of the top Pokemon that's a shadow. Because like Mewtwo is like a glass cannon already.
Yep.
So when it's a shadow, it just gets like one shot pretty much, right?
Regardless, it's tanky as hell still, even as a shadow. Even if it has this 20% defense down or something like that. It hits hard. It hits really, really hard as a shadow. So I'm excited to finally get a good one. Even regular Lugia, they haven't got a good one. My Purify, or at least my Apex Purify, isn't that good anyways. So it is how it is. This is not an Apex form either, so this is just regular Shadow Lugia that we had before. I think the Apex was just a one-time deal unless they put it in Elite Race or something like that. Mm-hmm. So, however, Shadow Pokemons are being converted once again into Shadow Pokemons. I don't know how many, maybe. The next few iterations of it: Shadow Ghastly, Shadow Rhyhorn, Shadow Barboach, Shadow Cranidos, Shadow Shieldon, Shadow Dribbler. I can't even say the name. And Shadow Liquid will also be appearing from Grunts throughout this event. Some of them are pretty notable in the end of the day, right, Chris?
Yeah. One of the ones that really sticks out to me is that first one. But there's some crazy Pokemon in here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Lane, are you excited for any of these shadows here? I do think they have.
Lugia, of course, is a 10 out of 10. Where I've been really going into PvP, I mean, really hard. I think like looking at some of them, I think there's like 3. But I also just like doing rocket. Like I do almost every single rocket that I like that I see. I battle everyone just to kind of like. I really just want a shiny one. 2, it's just there, like just something to do.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
All the leaders, or at least the Tingle Rocket leaders, will have brand new Shadow Shinies. I think there's only gonna be probably one of them that's gonna have returning shiny, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's a good one regardless. So 1-star race, or at least 1-star shadow race, Ghastly, Grimer, Mischievous, and Liquid will be part of that. 3-star shadow race will have Shadow Nidorino, Shadow Nidorina, and Shadow Golbat. Shadow Golbat is interesting because it does have some meta revalences in PvP. Grimer and Mug could also be kind of interesting. That has a shiny chance regardless. Everything else is usually just a glass cannon unless Shadow Nidorina can, actually it can evolve.
Yeah,
so
I do like the Nidoqueen availability too.
Yeah, so that's pretty good too. The bonuses will Tingle Rocket will appear more frequently in stops and balloons, and you can use a charge TM to forget the charge attack frustration. So that's pretty cool, regardless of how it may be.
Yeah.
It always happens.
Thinking
anyways.
of Shadow Mewtwo's, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did that on the last takeover, so we're good for now. I do have a couple Pokemons that I've been waiting on, anyways. This one is interesting, mostly because the 12-kilometer egg pool has switched up a little bit. They taken away all the weird like stuff that we don't want, aside from a few things. But Larvitar, Sandal, Pawniard, Bullaby, Dino, Panchap, and Salado will be appearing from 12-kilometer eggs, which is, again, not a huge shakeup, but they take away the Skrulp, or the Skorupi.
I'm kind of sad about Skrulp.
And I think, what was the other one? I think it was Inkay.
Inkay?
Yeah. And Absol. Absol also taken out of the pool, which is actually pretty cool. So a smaller pool's probably still the rarity of how they may be, but I feel like they need a little bit of better shake up anyways.
I said I think they need a full revamp, like full clear out, like move them to 10s.
Yeah.
Give me some new 12s.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially
there's some stuff we can shake up there.
Especially since now that we have more Pokemons in the pool, between Generation 5 to now, we feel like they actually, I mean, they did add Salandal, but Salandal is like, you get the female or you get nothing. So, just wait until the
I've
shiny
not
comes
got a
out.
female. I've only gotten males.
Not me,
I just hatched a female recently.
Bruh.
It took me
Well,
so
lucky
long.
you, Chris. Lucky you.
Funny enough, I hatched a male and a female in the same batch. I was like, please, one of these, please.
Oh man. And then Field Reach stats will also be adding rewarding mysterious components throughout the entire event. So exciting. A lot of people are actually calling this takeover as probably one of the best takeovers we have had in a long time. Between Shiny Lugia, the shake up of the grunts once again. I mean, Dribble, and some of them are just like Ray Battle exclusive or PvP exclusive. I mean, I know the Shadow Dribble is going to actually dominate the Master League soon. So, which I am a Master League kind of guy. So I love playing my Master League. I love my legendaries. I love, power it up to XL. I don't know how I have the chance to do that, but I do. That's pretty good anyways. So really excited once again. Make sure you don't
Well, I
forget.
think going across with the Halloween, right? Like we're getting two things. Like
Yes.
usually the Rocket takeovers are just kind of there, like. But this is being coincided with this is really cool.
Yeah.
It's loaded.
And let's get into what I call the dump of news for the month. Niantic has blessed us with the November updates, how things may be. We're going to just scream over real quick on how things are because we just been running on for this podcast for too long already. So you guys can have fun reading all this.
Party.
It's a party. So we have Pokemon Showcases. November 1st and 2nd, we have Duskull. It's happening for those entire 2 days. Then November 15th to the 19th, we have Cotita and Marie. We also have November 7th to the 10th, Liquid. And then from the 11th to the 12th, a mystery Pokemon. Dun, dun, dun. November 22nd to the 27th, we have all three of the Paldea starters. Bricatito,
I've got extra larges of all. Yeah.
Hopefully you can win at least one of them this time.
Yeah.
November 25th, Mareep and Ampharos. So that's pretty cool. Okay, that makes sense. So now I know what the classic
There
is.
you go.
Yep. We're back again from November 26th to the 27th. We have the starters once again. And then Lechonk becomes the last one from November 28th. Okay, now that makes sense, a lot of sense, that we were talking about it. But we'll talk about the events in just a moment. Mega Race, we have Mega Bennett, Mega Houndoom, a Mystery Raid, and Mega Raid, and then Mega Kangaskhan, which is actually exciting because a lot of people, Kangaskhan, I know people are still wanting that. I got an extra large shiny Kangaskhan from GoFest, so I'm actually okay with not having any more shinies. I did trade another shiny I had, but it is how it is.
I just need to do one Mega Kangaskhan raid so I can have my own Mega.
So you can start walking it, I actually got like super lucky and got the Hondo on the first rotation. So that's
oh
pretty
my
good.
gosh.
You're just the luckiest person ever. Aren't you?
Nah, I don't know about
He
that.
has like a hundo every week, man.
And I don't even try. So, so
That's the worst part.
5-star raids. Darkrai comes back from October 20th to the November 2nd. Genesect once again comes back with a Douse Drive, November 2nd to the 9th. Douse Drive, what typing is that?
That should be water.
Water type? Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Then we have the Sorcerer's Justice coming back. Berisian, November 9th to the 16th. Cobalium, 16th to the 23rd. And then Terrakion from the 23rd to the 30th. Didn't we just have them? Like, maybe like a season ago or something?
It feels like it was pretty recently.
Right? Like,
I don't know. It feels like it's been like less than maybe 2 or 3 months since we had them or something. Like the rotation itself has something like that. Then we have Spotlight Hours. This is November's, not tomorrow's. November 7th, we have Chin Chow. November 14th, we have Ineri. November 21st, we have Dunsparce, which I believe hopefully they will release their counterpart evolution. And then November 28th, Lechonk. So Lechonk, another chance of getting shiny Lechonk in there. But
Poor Amanda.
I think that's a first and last out type of situation because where that's the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
Like we're getting to the end of the season on that. We started with Lechonk.
We end with Lechonk.
And then kind of ending it.
Yeah. I think that's the reason why we have so much Paldea stuff going on at the end. Raid hours, well, every Wednesday, November 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th. Just like I said the race before, Darkrai, Genesect, Berisian, Cobalion, and Terrakion. If not, I'm going to go over the whole thing again. Anyways, breakthrough boxes is still the same thing from the entire 3 months, which is nice anyways. And then the events. So this is the interesting one. We have the details for Day of the Dead, which we'll talk about in just a moment. November 1st to the 2nd. Community Day, which we know is Swooper. We already talked about that on November 5th. Festival of Lights, November 7th to the 12th. This is actually pretty cool because another shiny usually comes out during that time. Raid Day, November 11th. Now, this is interesting because usually those raid days are for Hisuian Pokemon these days now. And I'm pretty sure that's just going to give us another Hisuian Pokemon, however, maybe in the end of the day. Fashion Week. I mean, that little doggo is finally coming back, I guess. Party Up. I have no idea at this point. So it's just another party feature probably kind of deal. And then Community Day Classic happening on November 25th. Which, if you actually haven't, heard at this point, and that's the reason why I said, oh, that actually makes sense. Looks like Community Classic is going to be Mareep and Ampharos. Which is cool. I haven't seen Mareep in a while, or at least haven't seen...
We love all Gen 2s. I like them all. Give them to me.
It's not
gotta
bad.
get the Shanda,
I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen it in years, actually. Literally years at this point.
Well, I like Mega ones, too. Like, just getting like a 4-star for Mega, just getting, like, everything together, right?
Oh yeah, that's 100%. That's the deal on that. But yeah, it is how it is. So that's the content update in November, ending the Adventures Abound season, and then we're gonna get into Halloween Christmas time afterwards. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. So sorry about that. Pokemon Go, what'd you do? Okay, no, cool. That's not something I don't care about. But yeah, so we did say that we have the Dia de los Muertos. 2023 celebration happening on November 1st and 2nd. We have details about that. Celebrate with Cubone and Marowak wearing I can't even say it in Spanish. Senpatsu Shield, crowns, new bonuses, incense, and more. So
I was hurting looking at that word.
I know we said it before because the Duskull had it before, but even I myself, who is a Hispanic, can't even say that word at this point. But I say the word that is worded just because now they tell me so. Senpatsu Shield. Shield, yeah, seal, or something like that. Anyways, we're excited to return. The Dia de los Muertos kind of deal. Another tradition out there for the Mexican culture when it comes to it, I think it is. Starting Wednesday, November 1st to November 2nd, the Cubone and Marowak will be wearing is Senpatsu Shield crown. Shiny Cubone with that, it's going to be rare, of course, but you can evolve it, so that's pretty cool in the end of the day. The bonuses, the lore modules activated during the event will last for 90 minutes, an hour and a half, that's interesting. Incense, excluding the daily incense, of course, will be activated through the event, will last for 90 minutes, and then 2 times cash candy. Anybody who is in Latin America and the Caribbean can look forward for the additional bonuses of additional candy for transferring Pokemon. So basically... I don't even know if it's gonna be like double the candy that you get, but whatever the case may be, it's pretty cool. You're not going to Mexico during the time, right? Lane?
No, sir.
Oh, it's close. I'm like 10 days away.
Okay.
I got really bummed. I'm not gonna lie because I saw. I'm like, oh.
I think if you're like your boat is like going through that, and then you just get to the Caribbean a day off, maybe you'll get like 1 or 2 or something. So
That's what I do. I'm like, I've watched people like on cruises doing it. I'm like, for the instance, because the boat is so slow
Yeah, I know.
that you still get the instance spawns.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've already looked it up. Of course, I've looked into it.
Yeah. So we have Wild Encounters, Sunken, Sableye, Roselia, Duskull coming back with his Senpachusil crown. Drifloon and Liquid. Of course, if you're lucky, you may encounter the Cubone with the crown. Yamas and Phantom. I'm not saying the word again because of it. Incense and Lure encounters will be Sunken, Sunflora, Houndour, Sableye, Roselia, Duskull, Drifloon, the Cubone, and Orange Flabebe. So that's pretty cool. I think that... Is that breaking region lock? For the Flabebe? Or is that like...
I think I have one.
I think
Because
the
I want to
orange
say orange
Flabebe.
and white are everywhere.
But I think Flabebe, orange Flabebe is the... Oh yeah, I think Flabebe orange is just everywhere.
Yeah,
Anyways.
because
Yeah,
we get yellow
yeah.
in America.
That's why they didn't mention anything about breaking luck, because it's not breaking luck. It's actually everywhere, so it doesn't matter. Fuel Rich stats, Sunken, Drifloon, and Liquid, and also encounters with Cubone and a Laura Marowak. That's pretty cool, regardless of how it may be. Raids, looks like Cubone is going to be the only one in raids. This event is only 2 days, so I don't know, in 1-star raids. 3 stars, we have Asomero, Umbreon, Hariyama, and Bombardier. Bombardier coming back since this actual like release, maybe a month or so ago of the start of the event. Darkrai and Mega Bennett will continue on being the raids for 5 stars and Megas. We do have avatar items featuring, I guess, the Dia de Muertos mask, which is pretty cool, I guess. And then some stickers that actually, I do really like the stickers because it actually colors out every single one of the team stickers out there with the way that they celebrate Dia de los Muertos. And
yeah,
then
you got Valor and the other ones.
yeah, sure. Anyways, wait, Lane, I never asked you, what team are you?
Instinct.
Oh, we got a full
The
tribe.
trio.
We got the trio
Yeah.
right here. I got Mystic, Valor, and Instinct. There you go. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Dia de los Muertos. That is pretty much it on the base of news. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have more news coming up in the next few days, anyways. But I'm excited for all the events that are happening here and there. Halloween is just like you said, the Christmas in Halloween type of deal. Lane, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it is. But I'm excited for more to come. I know that the year is ending. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the year is ending. So we're about to hit the pretty ending events of the year, regardless of how it may be. But Chris, I think we're skipping PvP this week because we are actually already running so late to this week.
Good, because I did not do well.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week, so don't worry about that. But with that being said, I think that's it. Chris, anything else that you want to add or anything else?
It's been a pleasure meeting Lane, and
Absolutely,
No,
happy to-
I mean, next Go Fest, we're all going. Like, doesn't matter what it is. We're going.
Hey,
regardless.
Chris, you can sleep on the kitchen floor with me. Like,
Yeah. Dude, I don't even need a pillow. We'll be tired after
it was an
walking.
experience. Because in my mind, I'm like, it's just 2 nights. It's just 2 nights. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Go Fest, Lexington, Kentucky next year.
Yeah, there we go.
Definitely.
Whatever the case may be, thank you so much, Lane, for coming into the show. Thank you for sticking around for our rantings of the game because we love it so much. Before we go, let us know where we can find you.
You can find
anything.
me everywhere at GM Johto. Good Morning Johto. So on Twitter is GM Johto. You can find the Patreon, the coffee, everything in the show notes of the show. It's 5:30 your time every morning, Monday through Friday. That's basically the best place. I'm terrible at social media and Discord in general. I am not good at like updating all that stuff. Trying to tweet out, do that stuff, but no, every day, Monday through Friday, 5:30 when you wake up, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. But again, thank you, Lane, for joining us. And I hope that everybody listening can go and check him out because he does amazing stuff, amazing work out there. With that being said, thank you so much for everybody for listening to the podcast. Make sure you check us out at any of the podcast services fees: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music.
Not Stitcher.
No, it's not there anymore. Don't worry about it. If you can leave us a review, we would greatly appreciate it. 5 stars is always the best stars. You can follow our social media, myself at PureLighterGo, and Twitter or X, whatever the case may be. Chris, PKMN Trigger, please, with a Z at the end. I always say that in the podcast. or the Purified podcast for anything news, Pokemon Go related was anyways. Email us anything, purifiedpodcast@gmail.com. Join our Discord, is free. You can join us. I mean, we definitely want to talk there for you guys, anything. And don't forget to check us out at thepurifiedpodcast.com. With that being said, Chris, are you okay with Lane taking us away for the night?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, Lane, how about you let us have an ending?
What is it?
So usually at the end of the stream, Chris just basically just says, some thank you things here and there. But if you want to go ahead and say thank you for everything, just
Thank you for everything. Good luck. I hope you lose.
and keep purifying, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.